I am very happy to share with you the release of my new book, Practicing the Preaching Life. From beginning to end, I wrote this book with preachers and ministry leaders like you in mind. Over the last 12 years, as I've been teaching preaching at an undergraduate, graduate, and doctorate level, the most common thing I hear from those preachers with experience is that preaching leads to burnout. But it doesn't have to be that way. Practicing the Preaching Life offers a holistic, practical theology of preaching that allows for sermons to arise more naturally, more sustainably, and more joyfully than many preachers think is possible. In other words, this book attempts to be an antidote to preaching burnout. The second most common thing that I hear from preachers with experience across the many spaces in which I coach preachers is that the kind of teaching they've received about preaching separates the practice of preaching from the living of life. Their spiritual life on the one hand, their ministerial duties on the other are separate from preaching. But preaching doesn't work best when it works that way. This book offers as holistic and as integrated a view of the practice of preaching as you can find in any book today. And it does so by helping preaching emerge from who we are, not just what we do. The third most common thing I hear is that the teaching preachers receive about preaching doesn't apply in their contexts. So over the last 10 years, not only have I done the research for this book in diverse contexts, but I've tested its content in as diverse of places as Haiti and the Philippines. Preachers are currently using this material in places like England, South America, North America, Africa, Australia. And it's been tested in contexts that are urban, suburban, rural. It gives me great confidence to say then that this book, this material, will help your preaching no matter where you serve. It's theologically rich material, but it is presented in a way that you can remember the content at a glance. It is filled with the kind of content that you can apply immediately this week. The goal is that even this coming Sunday's sermon might receive a fresh influx of preaching creativity. It also includes some of the most helpful material I've used with pastors over the last few years that helps them schedule their preaching life in a year by year, week by week, even day by day way. The goal is to make sure that the busyness of ministry doesn't overrun the importance of the pulpit. There's a lot more material in this book that I could, of course, present to you in a short introductory video like this. So I hope you'll take the time and just click on Amazon or Google Books and scan through the previews that are available there and see if this book is the kind of material you need for your preaching life. Whether you are a new preacher just beginning or an experienced preacher, I believe this book will infuse your life with the kind of spiritual vitality you're looking for and the joy-filled ministry and life lived in God you know is God's desire for you. If at any point along the way you think that you might need more help in applying the book's material in your ministry, or if you relate to pastors and other ministry leaders who you think might be helped by the same kind of material, I certainly invite you to reach out to me personally at my personal email, practicingthepreachinglife@gmail.com. I'll read every email that comes there personally, and I will respond to them as soon as I am physically able, because my joy and my desire is to help preachers. I want to help lift the load of preaching ministry and move it forward, not only for the sake of the church, but for the sake of the world. Whether we're able to meet or not, I do hope and pray that this book will not only assist you in your ministerial life, but it will serve your soul. In other words, I hope Practicing the Preaching Life becomes good news for you.